So this is a video that demonstrates one of the mistakes I was finding more commonly in the homework assignments for the secondary dominant resolutions. This has to do with when we have root position resolutions of a 5/7 to a tonic. This can happen in a primary key as 5/7 to 1 in major or minor, or it can happen as a secondary chord, the 5/7 of a secondary key X to that new temporary tonic X, so 5/7 of X to X. If we resolve every tendency tone properly, so the local leading tone resolves up and the seventh of the chord resolves down, and we try to get full complete chords for both the 5/7 and the 1, we'll have problems of parallel fifths. So to avoid this, we must omit the fifth in one of the chords to avoid the parallels. So you can see in this first example here, this illustrates the mistake. I have a 5/7 of 2 going to 2 in D major. My 2 is E, and the 5/7 of 2 is B, D sharp, F sharp, A. It's my 5/7, that's my dominant seventh chord in the temporary key of E minor. I've stacked the chord so that my chordal seventh is in the tenor and it is resolving down like it is supposed to. And my local leading tone is the D sharp and it is resolving upward to the E. My problem is between the bass and the soprano, where I have B to F sharp, which is a parallel fifth, a perfect fifth, and in my next chord, my 2 chord, I have the E to the B, which is also a perfect fifth. This is parallel fifths. It's a problem, and it makes us very sad. But there is a way to avoid it. So my second example here, I'm going to use my same voicing for my 5/7 chord. Same exact voicing. My seventh of the chord is in the tenor. My local leading tone is in the alto. I'm still going to resolve my local leading tone up. Still going to resolve my chordal seventh down. But instead of moving my soprano to the B, which is the fifth of the 2 chord, I'm going to move it down to the E so that I triple the root. And by doing that, I'm omitting the fifth. So I have a complete 5/7 of 2 going to an incomplete 2 chord. By doing this, I avoid the parallel fifths, but I still resolve my tendency tones correctly. I can also omit the fifth in the 5/7 of 2. So in the second example here, let's change the voicing of the 5/7 of 2. I'm still going to have my seventh in the tenor. I'm going to resolve that downward eventually. I will still have my D sharp, the local leading tone, in the alto, and that will resolve upward. But instead of putting the F sharp, the fifth of the chord, in the soprano, I'm going to double the B. So now I've doubled the root in my 5/7 of 2, and I've omitted the fifth. By doing this, now I can resolve the seventh of the chord downward in the tenor. I can resolve that D sharp local leading tone up to E, and I can keep my common tone, the B, which is the fifth of my E minor chord. So to summarize, when writing a root position 5/7 to a root position chord of resolution, whether that's tonic or a secondary key area as in this example, one of those chords must omit the fifth so that you resolve the tendency tones and avoid the parallel fifths.